totally into SAP ABAP, and I have started working on ABAP from ECC 6.0. Then I have worked on 7.4. Then I have worked on ABAP on HANA, then RESTful API programming, RAP model, and then currently we are working on that CAP model also. So this is quick background of myself, okay? And if you can take each one of you take a minute and tell your name and what is your background. Are you into SAP or you are new to SAP? It will be good while going ahead.
Good evening, sir. My name is Ravi Teja. So I am a completely fresher to SAP. Completed my undergraduate in computer science right now, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ravi Teja. Next.
Ravi, go ahead, Ravi.
Hi, Mani. This is Ravi here. I'm a SAP ABAP consultant, and I'm
Okay,
certified into ABAP. So I'm having around 10 years of experience into ABAP side, and also have experience in Java side. So now I'm looking to, get onto the new things within ABAP arena, like RAP, BTP, all these
and
things.
CAP model. Okay.
CAP model, yeah.
Okay, and thank you, Ravi. Next.
Yeah, Soumya, go ahead, Soumya.
Hi, I am Soumya. I'm having 5+ years of experience in SAP ABAP, and my total experience is all in ABAP only. I would like to learn new things going forward.
Okay, are you able to see my slides? Thank you, Soumya. Thank you for your quick introduction. Okay, so are you able to see my slides?
Yes, sir. We are able to see your slides.
Okay, now a little bit of the background of SAP. Okay, we'll cover it in deep on tomorrow also. Okay, whenever next session is. So SAP was started by 4 IBM engineers in 1972, and SAP is now around, you can say, 40+ years old. Okay, why SAP? SAP is an ERP. ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning, where we are working with multiple modules which are solidly integrated with each other. It means every module is integrated with each other. Like there is SAP SD, SAP MM, FICO. They are all integrated. The data is flowing from one of the modules to the another module to run the entire ERP solutions. Okay, so somebody joined. Okay, so okay, sure, I will continue. Okay, so SAP is different from the other languages like Java and other languages, because in Java that you can create a standalone applications and which can be deployed. In SAP, majorly we work for a company. There is a company which has multiple verticals, like it can have HR vertical, it can have sales vertical, it can have procurement vertical, and we have to integrate all those verticals and we have to maintain the consistency of the system. So ERP is majorly an enterprise resource planning tool where all the modules come into picture: SAP HR, SAP SD, SAP MM, and other modules, and they're tightly integrated with each other. So when SAP started, SAP was coded into ABAP. SAP has came out with a platform to do the customization that was called ABAP. The person who have means who's a fresher, so to them I am explaining. The person who are experienced, they already know about it. So little bit they have to be on this with me. But definitely after 2-3 sessions, we will be definitely on the new part of the SAP only. Okay. So they started with ABAP, then they came out with new syntaxes 7.4. Okay, with after new syntaxes they come out with ABAP on HANA, where they came out with the CDS views, and then finally they came out with the RESTful API programming model, and then finally they are working on the cloud application programming model. Okay, so what will be the content of what can you expect out of this course? You can expect after completing this course you are able to do coding on the business application studio using RAP framework. Okay, so what means how RESTful API programming works, what are the events, what are the different types of entity manipulation languages, and what all things you can definitely code, and how to work in a BTP platform. So this will be the outcome of this course. what will be you where you will be coding? You will be coding in your trial accounts. Okay, you will be having trial accounts. You can create your trial accounts, and there you can, in business application studio, we will be coding, and and you will be coding side by side on that business application studio. Okay, that trial account expiry is 90 days, so you can, and but every time if you want a new account, you can create with your new email ID, and you can create a 90 days account. Okay, now going through the slides now. So first session will be how the SAP has evolved from the SAP started from R1 where there was only one box, and now we are on the S4 HANA system. So what is the evolution? What is the performance? How does it went around, and all those things. Okay. Then we will see how it's different from on-premise to on-cloud. Just as you know, RAP programming will work on the cloud only. So we will be using BAS framework, that is Business Application Studio, and then we will be working on it. Okay. Then how ABAP is working, and how then we will work on what is a RESTful programming model. That is which is where we are trying to learn that model. Okay. And in memory storage, so as you know earlier, ECC, why there was a transition from the ECC to S4 HANA? The main reason for the transition was the latency, means it was taking too much time to get the data from the ECC system, and that's why we have to transition. We have to come up with a new database where we can perform multiple things at the database level, and we can only perform little bit things at the application level. So we came up with the that HANA S4 HANA approach. Okay. Then in S4 HANA, if you have heard little bit, so it is a row versus column. Initially in ECC, we were only having rows, but in S4 HANA, we have a column storage option at the table level. Okay. So first, we say it in this slide is mentioned as module, but first 6 7 topics which are there, these are little theoretical topics, and it will be covered around 2 to 3 hours of session. It will be 3 to 4, means around 4 hours, for because there are some new learners also. So 3 to 4 hours of session it will take for this theory to be over. After that, coming from the module 8 and module 9, we will be basically focusing on CDS, how it is used, we will be doing coding. Okay, what are the functionality, why CDS is superior than the other other constructs which are given by the SAP earlier, like DDIC views and other things, and how we can handle things. So we have divided the CDS view into 5 topics, but definitely when we start covering CDS, there will be some more topics which can come into picture, which we will be explaining side by side. It's just to make that, yes, these few topics will be covered, but definitely when you work on CDS, you will be using casting and other things will be coming, that will be covered during the session. Then CDS has another concept called associations, means you have heard of word joins. Initially in SAP ECC, we were using inner joins when we are using DDIC views, but now they have come with the association, that is a join by demand. So we will be seeing how this join by demand works, what is its use case, how does cardinality works, and how does we can expose this association to the outside world. Then comes with the module 11, that is DCL. So if the person who have already worked on ABAP, okay, and they will be the okay. So the person who has already worked into ABAP, they will be knowing that we have a concept of authorizations. Okay, so we will be in a CDS, we will be having authorizations in the form of DCL, means how will we ensure that things are not things are not getting into wrong hands. So uh, we have a concept called DCL, that is a data control language. Okay, so that is also created in the Eclipse, or we can create in the Business Application Studio only. Okay, or we can use Eclipse. I will be helping you with that that all the setup also. So either we will be using Eclipse or we will be using Business Application Studio for all these things to be done. Okay, but definitely BTP platform will be there, so we will be trying to work on on the cloud part, ABAP on cloud, and then we will be doing all these constructs. Okay, Now coming about the module 12, that is data models. So if you have heard with the RESTful API programming models, so there are models you have heard of managed, unmanaged scenarios. Means managed means everything is given by SAP. We only create entities and we perform actions, but all the CRUD operations are mostly managed by the SAP itself. Okay, unmanaged scenario, it means that we have to code for the CRUD operations as well. So there is a VDM concept, like we have to segregate the CDS views and other things. Okay, so that is a VDM concepts. We will be also touching on that also. And then UI annotation, that is the most important part. Means whenever you create a CDS view, you give different types of annotations like @UI, @authorization check. So these types of annotations we will be working on. Then there is a concept of service binding and service definition. Means if you have heard around earlier that core data CDS is only used to fetch data, but later in web programming we can use CDS to perform the CRUD operation. So service binding service definition only denotes that we are exposing it. But if you see module 13, that is a behavior definition and behavior implementation. That is where we will be doing different types of validations, actions, and determinations based on the entities which we have. And then there's a concept of if you go to module 14, there is a concept of locking, like in SAP ABAP also we have we create logs like EZ logs using SC11, right? Read logs, write logs. Okay, but when we work with the RAP, we have a E-tag concept where we create optimistic and pessimistic logs, and based on that we do operations. Okay, so module 15 is as I told you that behavior in definition and implementation we will be writing actions, validation, and terminations. Then finally we will be creating a OData service, and we will show how to consume it and do the CRUD operation. And then there is a last concept called ABAP managed database procedures. So sometimes the operations are not possible using CDS, or there are some SQL operations means which are not covered by OpenSQL, or that is not covered by CDS views like rank functions, length rank function. Then we go and use for AMDP. So in entire this course, we will be start creating an application. Mostly we will start creating an application when we start creating CDS view, and we will try to cover these things using an application. And it will be a hands-on exercise, and we will try to cover what we have covered it here. And if time permits, then few more topics if it's there. So is it clear to everyone, or any questions anybody have? I think Ravi Teja,
Sir,
Soumya.
so the application built in the CDS view, uh, you mean to say in the module 8, we are
Yeah.
creating an application. So that will be the project of the whole training, right, sir?
Yes, yes. So we will
In the
try to
module
create one
10.
app. Yeah, we will be try to create a module or an application, and we will try to extend this application with different construct as we move forward. So we'll try to keep application as one, and we will try to see make it big as we move to the next sessions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Please, any questions? Please go ahead.
May I know what is exactly the use of the RAP? Because already, already SAP has given many other tools and, to generate the
So,
services. But what exactly the use of it? How it is a
to
distinct from other
to,
services?
to be honest, your end product with the backend SCGW and the Fiori consultant is Fiori. The end product for RAP is also a Fiori application. The end product of CAPM model is also a Fiori application. Okay. All these three things are different ways of creating a Fiori application. What RAP does, initially what you used to do, when you create a Fiori application, you used to go for a backend developer where we used to create a OData service, and a front end developer you give that OData service to the front end developer, and he used to consume in the UI construct. But using a RAP programming language, you don't need a Fiori person to create a Fiori application. When you expose or bind the things, it automatically creates a Fiori application. How it creates? Because of the annotations you used in the CDS views. And similarly, when it comes to CAPM model, the difference between RAP and CAP is that in RAP, you are writing entity manipulation language. In CAP model, you are using Node.js construct, which is a where we are, which is you are using for doing the actions and validations and all those things. And then you are using the CDS modeling of CDS view is little different in CAP, right? They are using manage CUID. There are different concepts. Okay, so for the person who are working on that Java, Angular, they can catch it faster, the CAP model. The person who have evolved using ABAP, they can catch faster the RAP model. But to be remember the things that all things end product is a Fiori application. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. So what I
For the
understand, so
CDS
once,
view, is it similar to HANA or is it kind of different?
CDS views are of two types, okay? What we will be covering are the ABAP CDS views. There are some CDS view that HANA, that basis or some who are working on native SQL that people also uses. But we will not be covering. We will be covering the ABAP CDS views, which we can give to the BW team or other team. We can expose and they can utilize those CDS view in their BAX query or BAX construct. Okay?
But these CDS views are similar to HANA, right? I mean, the
They
HANA
are,
which
they are,
ABAP would use.
yes, they are created on the HANA database only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This will be simpler than the HANA exact HANA CDS views. Okay, they are little complex. Okay, because they use native SQL. Okay, but this will be simpler than the your that HANA CDS. But it will be CDS when comes into picture. It is on the HANA layer only. Okay, HANA as a database.
so this
Any
is
other
completely
question?
replacing the Fury, right? So what I understand is completely replacing the Fury. We don't need to use the UFI and Fury. So
No, 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 no.
that's what I meant to say. No?
Now you have to understand the concept, sir.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, don't use the word replace, because Fury is there and it will exist. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is and product is Fury. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what will happen to the applications which are already built in the using OData and Fury person? If we have to extend those applications, then we will need the Fury person and the OData guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have built the application using RAP, you only need a RAP person who can extend that application, or maybe standard application if SAP is given, which is built on RAP. Then you will need a person who knows that RAP programming. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, in the CAP, if a application is built using Node.js, then you cannot help. Okay, if you are a BAPer, you don't know Node.js. Okay, so you cannot help, right? So you need that person. So existence will be there for everyone, but it's just the three ways which SAP has come out to create a Fiori application, because the problem they thought is that they are not able to link it to Java and outside world. So that's why they come with a cloud application programming model where they use open construct like open Node.js and all those things. ABAP is the proprietary for SAP. Okay, nobody writes ABAP. Nobody even heard about ABAP who does not know SAP. Okay, but Node.js is an open platform. Everybody can use it. And using that platform, they were able to attract the people who are working already on the UI5 platforms, and they found out that cloud application programming model to create an application.
And what are the functionalities can be done within the Fury, like Java, UFI, Fury? All those things can be performed within these REP applications.
Mostly yes, means because you are not creating a application like vendor management system. You are not creating application like standalone application. You are working running an ERP. So what will be your rules? You means there's some if you are creating a sales order, so 10 sales order should be seen in the left. You click on that sales order, all details should be seen in the right panel. You can edit the details. You can put description. So all these functionalities which are required for a ERP mostly are covered on all three constructs. Either way, you can make it.
So
Okay.
all analytical apps, transactional apps can be created through
Yes.
REP, right? Yeah.
Yes. You can create a CDS view. You can yes analytical apps because once you are creating a RAP application, then you have to go to BAS platform, and
Mm-hmm.
there is an option that which type of page you can create, overview page or which type of page, and then you can refer these use this RESTful API programming constructs which you have made, and you can use in BAS. For this, we will be using Eclipse. Okay. Eclipse, we will be coding in Eclipse that will be on the cloud platform. Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions? So to be honest, first 2, 3, 4 sessions will be theory. After that, we will start building an application slowly, slowly. And see, we have some new people also who have just graduated. So for them also, we have to be little slow, but after some time, it will have a good pace and which you have to work. Pace does not mean that I will not explain new things. Things will go smooth only, but you will see that new things coming in each session.
So, one question. So, once we build the Fury app, so there could be a possibility that there are enhancement or extension of that Fury app. So, in
Hmm.
that case, suppose we know there are Fury elements, right? So now, if we
No,
want to extend the app, then we need the JS knowledge, right? There in
no,
those
no, 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 no.
enhancements, no.
No, that is where you have to is a differentiator. Means if your all application is built in wrap only, okay,
Hmm.
then you can
Yeah.
extend that CDS view. Okay, extend CDS view command is there. Okay, and you can use it. Okay, but if your application is built already in Node.js, okay, then you will require a Node.js knowledge to make changes in the Fury application.
So in case of CAP you're talking about, if it is built on
Yeah, cap
Node.js, then we will be. But if we are building
it's
it
on
by
wrap.
RAP,
It will be wrap only.
then
You will require a wrap knowledge only. CDS
so if
knowledge,
okay.
entity manipulation language knowledge. Okay, this knowledge you will be required.
So if there is a requirement to change the UI, for example, we have already built the UI with Fury
Mm,
elements and all, and
mm,
there is a ask, okay, from the client to change some UI elements. Like we see that in UI5 we have to make some changes. In this case, whether existing templates which suffice or we need additional UI5 commands. Or, I mean, I just wanted to know the knowledge we need if there are
no.
any changes. No, it's not needed.
Now, ma'am, to explain you this question, you in wrap you are already using CDS view. Using CDS view only you are creating the UI fields and everything, right? If
Hmm.
some changes come, suppose you are running an application where 4 fields are showing, now you want to show the another 2 fields. Okay, you have to
Hmm.
go back to your CDS view where you have defined and you have to add those fields. Okay, and you have to write that logic in the behavior definition and behavior implementation. Okay,
So
that is
if
it.
any button needs to be added which is not part of the existing template, then how do we add the
That,
button?
that is also possible using CDS annotations. Some buttons SAP Fiori default gives you like edit button and other save button. But if you want to add some button, that is also possible using CDS views.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Got it? Okay, you have
yeah.
heard of the like tabs. For tabs, you have heard of the annotation @facets. Okay, for creating different tabs. Okay. Similarly, there are different annotations which can help you to create different things. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
And also, does it provide the background framework like a BOPF to when we save the data,
Eh,
retrieve the data, all those
So
things?
this, so if you see the module 15, so this external
Mhm,
validation and determinations are taken from the BOPF framework only. Earlier they
mhm,
used to use this, but when SAP came out with the CRUD means this RAP programming, see a CRUD model, then they came up with the external validation determination, which is a concept which is being inherited from the BOPF framework.
mhm. Okay. And also, what the SAP has given any standard RAP applications?
That you have to check on the few UI5 library. Definitely, if you go
Mhm,
to UI5 library, you will see which way it is made. Is it made using RAP way? Is it CAP
mhm.
way? They have mentioned there
Yeah,
which way
but
they have.
are we going to cover any kind of a standard enhancements for the standard applications like that?
So, so that is difficult to cover because we have different construct like user extensibility is there. So if
Mhm,
to find a standard application to enhance, that is one also another problem. But to be
mhm,
honest, the ways which we are checking today, key user extensibility is mostly used where you do not write, you have to write the code. Side by side extension is used in the very few cases where they are developing from the scratch. So, but that are not part of this course. To be honest, that
mhm.
is not part of this
Okay,
course.
okay, okay,
Okay.
no problem. Yeah.
Any other questions? I missed the name of few guys who joined. Can if they can tell me their background, then it will be helpful for me to uh, teach in so that they can help better. So make them understand. So I know Ravi, Teja, and Soumya. And who else is? There's one more I see.
Sweta is Sweta and
Sweet.
Sabana. I guess Sabana is she's traveling, so there's a gap. Okay, she's having ABAP and EWM technical background. Okay, Sabana.
Okay.
Sweta, you can go ahead with your introduction. I guess you are in mute, Sweta. Fine, Money. Money, is it okay to reschedule tomorrow same time with the same link?
Yeah, is it? It is okay. I will try to be there at the same time, same link. Okay.
Okay. Okay
Okay.
then. Okay.
And can
So Ravi.
any doubt? Any
And
doubt?
Yeah,
You
go ahead.
can.
how many days it may take this course?
So this has to be discussed with Naveen. If you take, means it, the course is scheduled for 30 to 40 hours. Okay. So if
Hmm.
we take 1 hour each, then it will be 30 days. If we take, means if we schedule for a weekend and all those things, because I believe that you would require some time to practice also, going and teaching and coming next day. I don't know how much you will be able to gain, but it will require 30 to 40 hours of training hours.
Yeah, yeah. Schedule will plan it. Okay.
Yeah,
Like
that should
either
be fine. Yeah.
weekdays or weekends, we'll plan it. Okay. Let's have a proper demo tomorrow once again. Okay. So
Okay.
then. Okay.
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 Fine.
Yeah. Soumya, who has shared you the link to join? Soumya, you're not in list.
Prabhakar shared me the link
Sorry,
to join this team.
Prabhakar.
He
Okay.
referred
Okay.
me.
Yeah, yeah. Prabhakar. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay, Soumya.
Okay. Thank you
And
guys.
Mani,
And
I
let's.
have one small.
Yeah.
Mani,
Tell
I
me.
have one. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I heard that using CDS views, we can only retrieve the data and we cannot update or we cannot delete the data. Is
That
that
is at
true? Like,
ABAP. When we are working with ABAP on HANA, that was there that only we can retrieve because you only write select statements. But when we have come with the RAP programming, so they gave us behavior definitions and behavior implementations. So for CDS views, we create behavior definitions and behavior implementation, and there we can write our codes to come to update and change the tables data in the database tables. Okay.
that is also done by, that is also we need to do in Eclipse itself, right?
Yes, sir. Everything is in Eclipse now. Means we have to do the setup for Eclipse, and then we will be able to move forward from there. Okay.
Actually, are you using public cloud, S4HANA public cloud or the on-premises system? Like, can we perform all the actions using S4HANA public cloud as well without
Yes,
on-premises system?
yes. These will be the type programming constructs will remain common. Either you use private cloud or public cloud. Okay. You means they will remain same whenever the cloud comes into picture. If you are working into a app, then these constructs remain same. Okay.
Okay. Okay, we don't require any on-premises or private system, SAP system. We can achieve anything using S4HANA public cloud.
Yes, we will be working on the public cloud only because we are working on a free trial, so it will be public cloud only. Okay.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Fine. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So one last question.
Ravi Teja, you can ask your question tomorrow. So sorry,
Yes, sir.
he needs
Yes,
to
sir.
run for a meeting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
Soumya,
Okay.
Sweta, Ravi Teja. So tomorrow we can join at the same time, same link. Okay, I'll reschedule the calendar invitation. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Okay, Naveen.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Bye.
This
Any doubt,
conference will now
then
be
you can
recorded.
let me know. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? Is PPT visible to you?
No, I can't see.
Let's see. Okay. Let me do it again.
Naveen, I joined today for the first time. So, is there any
Okay.
recording available for the yesterday session?
Yeah, I'll send you.
Uh,
What's your good name? I see
Charan.
SG something. What's your
Yeah,
good name?
Charan.
Charan. I'll share you Charan. Okay. Saran, right? Saran. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I know, sir.
Yeah.
Navin, this is Srikanth for me as well. Please share the video.
Okay, okay, Srikanth, sure. Srikanth,
Okay.
I don't have your contact, I guess, Srikanth. I have it. Huh? Okay, once you're done with the session, you just buzz me in WhatsApp. I'll share it. Okay.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So can we start?
Yes, yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday we covered around the course content. Okay. If let me give you a little bit more brief to the persons who joined. So I will only take 5 minutes of time on this slide. Okay. So we covered only the course content yesterday. Okay. So course content covers around about is divided into 18 modules, but the first 4, 5, 6 modules will be covered in the first 3, 4 hours of sessions or 3, 4 classes, and rest it will be a hands-on training. So our main focus will be on creating the CDS views, consuming the CDS views, knowing the properties, how CDS views work, and how we can consume that CDS view into the outside SAP. Okay, how the APIs are created, how they can be shared to the outside world. Okay, so if you see the content, so first topic is evolution, which we will be starting now only. Okay, that is a bit theoretical topic, and then first 3 4 topics will be just theory to make you understand why there's a transition from the earlier ABAP to the RAP programming language. And then starting from module 7 or 8, we will be working on the extensively on the CDS views, and we will be working on the how type of CDS view, syntax, and all those things, associations, DCLs. Okay, and then we will be also creating the data models, and we will be practicing while creating one of the applications, and we will be keep it enhancing in next sessions. Means if we means we create a CDS view, and if we are working on association, we will enhance those that application to in the next session, so that you all stay connected and you are able to link to the previous session. Then if you see module 13, so module 13 is something where we will be working on the behavior definition, that is a part of RAP programming, where we write the logics like validations, actions, and we do multiple CRUD operations. So we will be seeing behavioral definition and behavioral implementation. Then we have a log concept which is used in RAP, like e-tag concept is used. And so we as you if you are earlier from the SAP background, you have worked on module pool, and you must be validating multiple fields on the screen or report programming. So similar in RAP, we have actions, validations, and determinations which help us to perform those actions. Then we will try to create an OData service using RAP, and as I told, we will be implementing CRUD operations, and then finally we will be working on advanced AMMDP, advanced managed database procedures. Okay, so we covered the course content yesterday. So this is a quick look. So there were some questions which we have answered. So still, if somebody has any questions, please go ahead. Else I will proceed with the next slide. Okay, so I take it as no, silence as a no. Okay, please interrupt me if you have any questions. I will try to answer those questions in between as well. Okay. Okay. So this slide portrays that what is being different in the initial things and the now things. When we used to work in ECC ABAP, we used to work on internal tables, data dictionaries. We have reports, screen programming. Means you take it as half screen. So we have internal tables in ECC ABAP, data dictionary reports. Okay, then we have screen programming that we call as module pools. Then we have conversions, that is LSMWs and BDCs, and then we have ALE docs. So what has changed into ABAP on HANA when we move from the for an ABAP for a developer? So when we move to ABAP on HANA, so we have first thing that has come earlier was the HANA Studio. People used to use HANA Studio and create different types of calculation views, attribute views, and earlier they used to do HANA. It was SAP proprietary product HANA Studio which was being used, but later it was being replaced by Eclipse. So nowadays we are using Eclipse as our coding tool. Okay, and what all new things has been brought up, that one is the inline coding. So inline coding was earlier also brought up in ECC from the version 7.4 and above, because the inline coding has come for version 7.4 earlier, and then it has been put into SAP ABAP on HANA also. Okay, so but majorly people have started using when they have started using working on the ABAP on HANA. Earlier they used to declare the data initially and then they used to use it. but its invention is done at the ECC level only. So if your SAP system is above 7.4 version, it will support inline coding. Okay, so but in ABAP on HANA, definitely it will support inline coding. That is one thing. Then we have a concept called CDS views, AMDP, HANA modeling. HANA modeling are that attribute views and calculation views, and OData and Fury. Means OData was also introduced in 2015, where people used to create an ECC. Means they used to create using SCGW, but nowadays CDS has come with the concept of giving data out to the outside world. So we are creating our OData using odata.publish annotation, and then it is similar. The artifacts are created in the backend in SCGW only. Okay, but it's an easy way, and now people are preferring this way to create as OData rather than going with the SCGW way. Okay, any doubts on this slide? Anything you think that any image is not clear? Then I can show. But this is just above hierarchy. We will be speaking in depth in on each of them things which are there in web on HANA or on CDS views. Okay, let me move to next
So
slide.
many, are we going to have them hands-on on this series view, this OData Fury, and this uh,
We will be
AMDB
creating.
wala?
Yeah, we will be creating a CDS view, and we will be creating a OData using CDS views. And definitely I
Okay.
will show you a hands-on on AMDP. But on the Fury part, if you are expecting a Fury part, we will try to cover one of the Fury applications. Means we can try creating a, means when we are creating a wrap application, it will automatically show you a Fury application where you can input the things. But Fury it will not cover the UI5 part. It will cover using the Fury elements. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now coming to the next slide. So, ERP. ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. So, how is it different from Java and other things? In Enterprise Resource Planning means that there are multiple modules which are strongly integrated and data is flowing between each other. So, like if you are working in an organization, you will be having HR module where your employee ID is created, your payroll is created. Then if that company might be procuring something, so it will be having the procurement module SAP MM. If it is a company that is selling, means as a manufacturer like a tire manufacturer or a paint manufacturer, then the manufacture their raw materials will be oil. Suppose I talk of paint, so it will be oil will be a raw material that it has to procure. There might be some rubber or something that it has to procure. So that the procurement cycle comes under the SAP MM module. Then after creating that paint, they have to sell that paint. So that is a sales SAP SD. Then there would be have been some warehouses also, like they have to keep their product somewhere. Like the manufacturing plant will be in one of the cities in India, and it has to be transferred to the other cities. So they will have some warehouse plant where they have to keep the thing. That is SAP WM. And for sending that things to the warehouse, they should have some transport management, means trucks, okay, freights through which they can send the things. So that comes under SAP TM. So when we talk of ERP, here the point is that I am telling you these modules because I want to tell you that this ERP term stands because it is comprising of all the modules which are tightly coupled together, and information is flowing from the one end to the other end seamlessly. Okay, now who can learn this module? So we have slides for this. I will go with the slide. Wherever you want to stop, you can stop me. Okay, so these questions will be answered in the following slides. Okay, so like I said, is this ERP integrated management system. If you see in the core, we have a ERP system, and we have different systems like sales, marketing, CRM, finance, manufacturing, HR. So you can relate that if your HR team does not know that you have joined the organization, your payroll team will not be sending you the salary after end of the month. So you can understand HR and finance are linked together. Okay, they are sending information from HR to finance that this employee has joined on this month of the date, and please process the salary on the 30th of the month. So information is flowing. So currently in market, we have a multiple ERP solutions. Oracle has its own, SAP has its own. There are PeopleSoft and other companies which also have their own ERP solution. But currently leader is SAP only because because of less glitches. Information is flowing from one end to another end seamlessly, and it has multiple interfacing points. So that is the reason. Yeah, currently SAP stands as a market leader in the providing the ERP solutions. Okay. Now, what is the full form of SAP? This is for just for the beginners who have not worked on SAP. The system, it stands for Systems, Application, and Products. So it is not an interview question. It is nothing like, but it should be known to people, because when you speak in the interview, if you say SAP, then people understand you. Mostly who's a good worker who have worked a lot in to SAP, he says SAP, not SAP. Okay, so this is just to make you understand that when you are part of any interview process, please try to speak as SAP, not SAP. So because all the community which is working, they speak it as SAP. So it is a full form like System, Application, and Products and Data Processing. So it has quarters at Germany. Okay, and they were they have found this SAP in the year 1972. From 1972 we have reached to 2024. It's almost 40 years SAP has been working and providing the ERP solution. Okay. I don't think there will be any questions on this slide. I will move forward. Okay, who can learn this module ABAP? So ABAP is particularly quite easy, but where we are working on RAP programming. So the expectation of this means this group should be that there will be very little of ABAP. We will be focusing more on the CDS views. But yes, if somebody has questions on ABAP, I will be answering throughout. And learning can be learned by anyone, means whoever. If you have a coding background, it's easy to learn. If you do not have a coding background, it is not that tough, because it does not contains any concept like pointers and all those things. Okay, it's a straightforward concept, straightforward syntaxes, and it can be learned easily by anyone. Okay, so ABAP, what is ABAP is and why is it used? So mostly you will say that SAP has rolled down its product, then why there is a need of ABAP? So ABAP comes into picture when the product which is launched by SAP does not fits the client requirement. Suppose data is coming from the third party interface. There's the two fields which is not provided by SAP in the data which is coming to it. Okay, so at this point of time we have to enhance the SAP solution to attach those fields or to create those fields. So to do this type of customizations, we have a ABAP language which help us to do the customization on like enhancements on the screen, or we can do the reporting. So now if we convert this to the RAP programming standard, so in RAP we have means when we are moving to cloud, so SAP has come with two things like key user extensibility, side by side, classical. So these extensibility options SAP is providing to do the extensibility. And similarly, if you compare with ABAP, we were having module pool, and when we create a things in RAP, so there will be also a list view that will be generated. Okay, and we will be able to see those things. Okay, just give me a minute. Any questions anybody have till now? Okay. So what are means we covered first two questions. Any doubt here? If you are not understanding, means if you will read, you will be able to understand. Means if here it's written that generating reports. So what happens when we sell? If you are a manufacturer, you are selling the things. You would like to see how what is the sale of the previous months. So you will be want to look the reports, who sold it, at on which date it is sold, and what price it is sold. So it helps in reporting. First all, we can do the mass changes. Means if you have created some sales order and you want to change some of the fields, you can be if that is required, it is also done by ABAP only. Okay, then we can create our own screens like in module pool report programming or array programming. We will be creating our own screens. Then we have a CRUD operations, create, delete, change database table, that is possible. Okay, and then like your invoice, you have sold something. Okay, so there should be some invoice that should be printed. So that is a SAP has provided provisions of smart forms and Adobe forms to this to send that things to the customer, or to generate the invoices. Okay, so now what will be your role as an ABAP consultant? So how does the things work? So in if you understand things, in SAP we have a multiple teams. Like we have a basis team, okay, which takes care of our infrastructure. Okay, then we have a functional team. Functional team is a team which talks to stakeholders. Okay, or the people who are working, who are the client, right? Stakeholders or clients, and they try to map standard SAP product with the requirement of given by the clients. If the standard requirement does not matches, then they go for a customization. When it comes to customization, then ABAP teamworks come. Okay, and they functional team provides the functional specification document, and then technical teams refers to this functional specification document and create any the artifacts which are required. The artifacts can be interfaces, reports, classes, okay, or forms. So it can be this any of the customization that would be required. So this customization are taken care by the ABAP team. Okay, so you are the sole contributor to the customization of the SAP solution. Okay, nobody will, or you will only get the functional specification. There will be couple of meetings with you to be with the functional owners, and then finally you have to uh, when you have get the requirement, you have to complete that requirement. Is this point clear? And where all you can get jobs? So you means this is easy to answer. Earlier it used to have only the big consultancies like Infosys, HCL, and all those things were used to grant job. But nowadays SAP has a good market. So if you're working with some clients directly, means it can be Apollo Tires, it can be paint company. So you can get a role of SME there, where you are mentoring the vendors, or you are managing different vendors from different organizations like HCL, Infosys, and Wipro, Tech Mahindra. So you can get jobs in these organizations. Is it clear?
Yes, sir,
What?
clear.
Please, anybody saying anything? What are the prerequisites? According to me, prerequisite should be if you are know a little bit of any language, you will be able to catch things faster. The thing where you have to pay more attention is on the syntaxes. Things are more or less common in every coding language. It's the syntax changes and a little bit functionality. Okay, so if you have a coding background, you will able to get it faster. If you not, then you have to little bit put more efforts to get into understand what is happening. And syntax has to be learned by both if you are experienced developer or if you are a newbie. Okay, so there's nothing that like that nobody can learn. Okay. Now, what was earlier happening? Earlier, if you are aware that SAP was ECC, then SAP came with the HANA approach. Why HANA? What forced them to come up with the HANA database? What is special in the HANA database? Initially, every time when there was a large data, it was taking a lot of time. Latency was the major issue, which instigated SAP to come up with a database which is faster and which helps them to retrieve information faster if the data is more. So they come up with a new system that is called HANA. HANA is both software as well as a hardware innovation. Software in terms of they have come with a columnar approach. Okay, hardware in terms of they have increased the CPUs. They have tried to keep maximum data on the RAM instead of putting it on the hard disk. Okay, so that makes the HANA faster as compared to the initial system. Earlier they were using Oracle database, so all the calculations data was fetched from the database, and application layer was being used to perform calculation. But now with the advent of HANA, it is SAP recommends to do all the calculation at the database layer itself instead of doing it in the application layer. But HANA is a both software as well as hardware innovation. Okay, hardware in the terms the number of RAMs. So earlier, why people were not moving to HANA? The reason was that it was costly. Infrastructure was costly. But then SAP said we will be limiting our support to the ECC side by 2025 or 2030. Then people started, yes, they have to move forward if they have to get support from SAP. And SAP is such a language, if you have taken support from SAP, if you have implemented SAP, then it's very difficult to come out of it, because now everything is dependent on your SAP as a ERP solution. Okay, so people will not think that even now SAP is giving costly solution, should we shift to Oracle? No, mostly 95% will go with the update of version, either it is costly or not costly, but they will not think of, because that is a huge effort to move from one ERP solution to the another ERP solution, and there are many failures as well, which obstructs the company's performance, efficiency, and margins. Okay, I don't think any doubt here in this slide. If you have, please ask. And am I clear? Not is that I'm going fast or slow theoretically?
No, sir, you are very much clear.
Okay, thank you. So this is what I have told you that before the HANA there was they have come with the SAP ECC, then they've come with S4 HANA. Okay, and SAP started cloud computing also, and SAP started a platform called SAP HANA Cloud Platform, and then they have moved from the R1 system to S4 system. So earlier what used to have, they used to come out with a version. You will be hearing 1709, 1809. So that is where 17 means that it's a year, and now and 09 means the month. So it is September 2017 they have come out with the HANA 1709. Then 1809 HANA, that is September 2018. So earlier these versions were coming, but now we are means SAP has again changed its terminology. Now if you see, we are at the version as like S4 HANA 2022, 2024, 3. So now with the year, then like which year we are working, they are putting that year as the last four digit. Instead, earlier they were using the year and a month of their product, but now the year which they are, if they are releasing S4 HANA new version here this year, they will put his name as S4 HANA 2024. Okay, so I have seen till 2023 because latest with the clients was having 2023, so I have seen till there. But if they come out with some new solutions, or if they have come out on they, it will be 2024. Okay, so that is you should be aware. But I mean, somebody can ask you what do you mean by 1709? So here 17 means year and 09 means the month. And but now the nomenclature again changed. Now they are coming with the year number of the year which they are. Okay, so what makes the S4 HANA faster? So what is one is the column store. Earlier what used to happen that if you have seen Excel, okay, so it is a rows and columns. Okay, so it was whenever the record has to be read, it has to be read row wise. So it was taking a lot of time to read the records row wise. So that was causing the latency in the retrieval of data. But with advent of S4 HANA, SAP has come with the column storage as well. When you say column storage, so suppose column storage and the compression techniques. Suppose if we have a database, suppose we have a table like name, uh, uh, salary, okay, and department. Okay, so what happens in a column storage that SAP creates, if suppose there is a name like Mani, Ravi Teja, okay, any name, Soumya. Suppose there is a repetition of a name like Ravi. Okay, so what will SAP will create columns. It will get three columns, and it will store unique names like Mani, Ravi, and Soumya and Ravi Teja. Similarly, for departments, suppose they belong to IT department, IT, and this belong to CS department, this belong to manufacturing department, and this belongs to again IT. So for department, it will create another column. It will store three values: IT, CS, MFG. So first here, if you see, first they are only storing the unique values now in column storage. Secondly, data is compressed. Here it was having 5 records, here it is having 4 records, here was having 5 records, it is having 3 records. And internally they have used some algorithms which are mapping this data and making the things faster. So if you open an SAP HANA database, so let me see if there is SAP system. Now, when you create any database table, you have that option to select either a column storage or a row storage. That utilities technical. No, back technical settings. So you see here it is an option now, column store or row store. Okay. So earlier only it was a row store, so there was no option for a column store in the SAP. So when we select column store, it helps. It uses all the compression techniques and other techniques to make the data smaller in size, which helps us for the help in retrieval of data faster. So this is a column storage. So there can be some questions that whether HANA is a row storage or column storage. So HANA is both row storage as well as a column storage database now. Okay. Now, second is that everything processing happens in the main memory. So if you have heard of the CDS views, you see that there are multiple expressions, like if you have to do some calculations, everything is happening at the database layer, and then we are moving to the application layer. So nothing is happening in the application layer. So that is making it faster. Okay. So it is performance advantages are there when we are working with S4 HANA. So I told you the original issue was this only. Two issues which SAP was struggling was the latency, where the data was there, fetching data was very fetched late, taking a lot of time. Secondly, late in the years they saw that people are moving to the website way. Means they earlier they were having this GUI box. There was no Fury. Okay. So now to compete to that version of that, we should be also having some Fury, something lucrative or a UI base. So they have come with the approach of Fury applications. So these were the two challenges which was faced by SAP. You can say in the year 2011 and 2002 till 2015-16, they were struggling on these features. Okay. Now, when we say S4 HANA, so it means SAP Business Suite for SAP HANA. Okay, that is S4 HANA. Okay. Any questions on this slide? Now next will be the evolution. Okay. So here we were showing that how it evaluate. So SAP HANA comes in the year 2011. Then they came up with a solution powered by S4, HANA, that is 2012. Then Business Suite. Business Suite was only means that they were having the HANA database, and but our the application was the same application that was used. Only they changed the database from Oracle to they converted to S4 HANA. Then they come out with some solutions like simple finance. So that this simple finance solution is that they have changed the data models now. Earlier they were using the tables like BSAG and BKPF. Now they are using the they have tables like AC doka, PRCD underscore elements to do their operations. Then now finally they have come with SAP S4 HANA, where they have completely changed the data model. All the things are on the HANA database, and they are asking people to use Fury as their front end system. Okay. Any questions here? Okay. Guys, please stop me if you think anything I'm going fast or I'm not able to explain you. Please stop. I will try to explain you better. Okay. Now, so this is a typo. Okay, it's R1 instead of R2. So this is R1 setup. Earlier, when they came in 1972, there was only one box. So in that box, there was all the three things: database layer, application layer, presentation layer. The drawback of this approach was that if anything gets stuck, so they have to shut down their complete system, and it was a impact on their business. So this approach was run for few years till they found another solution, and they come with the R by 2 approach. In R by 2 approach, they joined the application and presentation layer, and they separated the database layer. Okay. Now a benefit of this solution was that if the issues in database, the application, we don't have to find or touch the application. People are clear in which area they have to fix the issue, but still it has some drawbacks. Suppose if the issue is at application or presentation layer, which people they have to shut down this box, the first box. So to overcome this, they come up with the R3 approach. So earlier what used to happen, it was not like this box was also not there. Which box which we are seeing, this SAP GUI, this was not there. So they were used to work in the black screens. Okay, if you see this black screen where they used to put the passwords and everything, and they used to work in the screen. So it was not lucrative, not easy to work, and many problems were there with this. So to overcome this, they come with by R by 3 approach. So in this they have they have differentiated all the three layers: database layer, application layer, and a presentation layer. And now if some issue arises, they are aware that which area they have to focus on, and the issues can be corrected easily. Okay, so this is the R3. So whenever you see ECC, people will see SAP R3. R3 ECC system means there are it is divided into three things, means database layer, application layer, and a presentation layer. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Then it is come with the means a GUI box was also introduced. Okay, this GUI was introduced. The black screen was also gone. Okay. Then S4HANA. S4HANA, SAP is asking to work on the Fury tiles. Okay, they have removed the GUI part also. Means its GUI is there, backend is still existing, but their recommendation is to work with the GUI front Fury application and perform their actions. Okay. Now let's different SAP systems. So there is people ask the question in the interview also. What is the difference between Business Suite on HANA and SAP S4HANA? Okay, so if you see the second box and the third box, this is a question that is asked during the interviews also. Okay, first you know that it's the ECC system, SAP ECC ERP6. Okay, the database was Oracle, any database they were using, and there was a UI application, and there are different function modules which have been implemented like FICO, SD, and MM. Okay, then came the Business Suite on HANA. So what changed in Business Suite of HANA? Only the database changed. The upper part remained the same. Okay, so it was still working with SAP GUI, and there were similar data models also. Data models also did not change. Only the database changed to make it faster. But when it came with S4 HANA, so they come with a solution like simple finance, simple logistics, and the data was purely S4 SAP HANA, and they have recommended to work on Fury, but it also have SAP GUI also. Okay, so the GUI they have not eliminated the GUI, they have just asked to work on SAP Fury. Okay, so when I say data models means earlier you were having BSEG, BKPF tables in the SAP FI, which were pool tables, cluster tables. Now if you move to S4HANA, those tables exist, but only their compatibility views exist. Okay, SAP has come with new data model, that is AC Doka, for the finance part, general ledger, accounting, and all those things. For the SD part, they have come up with the tables like PRCD underscore elements, which is helping them to eliminate the tables like VBUK, VBUP, these tables which help them to help SAP to eliminate those tables that are status tables. Okay, I think hope it's clear. Okay, any doubt, please go and ask. But this is a question people ask: Business Suite on HANA and S4 HANA, what is the difference? Okay, so you should be aware. Okay, now this slide is taken from the SAP TechEd. Okay, so where SAP has tried to show the benefits of S4 HANA. Okay, so they said that they are working on some traditional database system that was having 598 GB of data. Then they use the HANA columnar approach, okay, and compression techniques, and try to convert that data into HANA database. So HANA database size changed into 118 GB. Then they simplified the data model. Simplification of data models, they remove the tables, extra tables like BSEC, BKPF, and they created one table like AC Doka, PCRC elements. So they create a simplification data model. Then that data, which was earlier 598 GB, then 118 GB, now go get into size of 42 GB. Now whenever you are working with the some SAP boxes, so you only mostly require the transactional data which is having which is being worked on a regular basis, not on the not on the things like 15 years back data, which is 15 years back. Okay, so if we remove the redundant data which is not required, then they remove those data or they archive those data, because this can be required for some reports, historical reports. They archive those data, and they then convert they found that the rest data which was left was 8 GB. So working with 8 GB of data was easy and faster as compared to the 598 GB of data. So they illustrated this full approach of transitioning from ECGC to S4HANA with the real time they took an example of one of their clients and they showed in the ticket. Okay, So hope you are also able to understand that why the data is processing was faster, because we are left with the 8 GB of data. Now it's faster as compared to 598 GB of data. Okay, so they used all the HANA concept, column storage, compression techniques, and simplification data models, and removing the data which is not required. Okay, so traditional database, so it's models, so it's same like which I have told you that they were having 3 layers. Okay, so the ABAP and Java were the presentation layer, we were working on the application layer, so it's a repetition. Okay, okay. Now, when work with the in-memory database, I told you S/4HANA is a in-memory database. In-memory database means they have increased their RAM size, and now most of the processing is happening on the RAM. So that's why it's called the in-memory database also. Okay, so that is a hardware innovation. As I told you, is a combination. SAP HANA is a combination of software and hardware innovation to the huge amount. Before SAP, earlier it was using traditional hard disk. Now it is kept in RAM, and it supports both OLAP, analytical processing, as well as transactional processing, OLTP. Okay, so memory database are faster because data has to be retrieved from the RAM as compared to the disk storage device, and accessing data in memory eliminates seek time, and means this is telling you the why SAP has become faster as compared to the traditional database. Okay, now there is a this was a hardware, in memory database is a hardware innovation, means they are increasing RAM and they are utilizing increasing the cost. But what was the software innovation? Software innovation was rows versus column storage. Okay, so it helps in faster reader access, aggregation functions are faster, parallel processing is faster. Okay, we have another slide for rows and column storage. Okay, so here is what I am showing you, that there's a table when we were having only row storage. So if I have to search record material 3, I have to go to each record and then search it. Either earlier you will say that we were having binary search, we can divide by 2 and do, then also it was slow as compared to S/4HANA compression techniques. Okay, because in S/4HANA every column it stores the unique records which are there, and then internally different algorithms map to it, and they work, try to bring data faster to the faster from the database. Okay, now column storage. So column storage, I told you they will create one column and only the unique values stored. Okay, and we can perform parallel operations on multiprocess, means if you are working on, means I have you heard of that we have a Snapdragon CPU to different CPU, means multiprocessor CPUs are coming. So now if we have only, means we have only one column to process, so it can happen that processor 1 works on the one column, processor 2 works in the another column. So in this way parallel processing is also a functionality which was enabled in the S/4HANA. Okay, then choices. So now you will ask me a question that when to choose row storage, when to choose column storage. So simple answer, if you see that your table is having some numerical values and you would require to do some aggregate functions like sum or something else, then you should always go with the column storage. If you only need the searching, means it's a string data and all that data, and you only need the data for retrieval, then you should go for a row storage. Okay, so it is written here, when calculation is performed on your small number calculation, whenever calculation is required, means you have to understand when you if you're asked to create a table, you have to understand that whether we require calculation or not. If calculation is required, we will go with the column storage. If not, we will go with the row storage. Okay, so now we here we are showing this will be, we will be setting the in setup also in the next sessions. Okay, so here I am showing the ADT. So whenever you install an Eclipse, so in the hand side you see that there's a help button in the top, and there's a install new software. Then one URL is given by SAP tools.hana.ondemand. So we have to install these softwares, and then your HANA perspective or ABAP perspective will be available in the Eclipse. So if you are working on your office laptops or something, so there can be some firewalls, or you might not have admin rights, so this might not help you to install there. So if you are installing this, so please use your personal laptops, because you have your admin rights and you can perform install, and it will not ask you for any rights and anything. Okay, Now this is what we are showing here, that if you install Eclipse, the reporting can also be done in the Eclipse. So we will be also covering this reporting when we have installed Eclipse, and we will be showing how the data is fetched from the tables and how the data is fetched from using the CDS views. So this is a Eclipse view, how it is done in the Eclipse. Earlier these things have been done in the GUI in if you means if you are a web consultant earlier. So it was SC38 we used to write all these types of code, but in the Eclipse we have to right click and create reports, and we can write these things. So earlier this was the GUI part. So from the Eclipse also there's one option to open the GUI part also. So we can also see the data in the GUI space as well. Okay. So this is the reflection that how if we select that run in GUI application, how the data will be shown. So this is a reflection of that output. Okay. So next I told you that we will be covering the CDS views. So CDS view is an important part where we will be working on different syntaxes, annotations, associations, and what all properties and what all calculations we can done to on the CDS view, and we can make the things more at the database layer than the application layer. So this is a CDS view. We have to select in the data definition in the Eclipse, and then we will be given an option to create define view, and we can give the view name, and then the fields, projection fields, which are required to be displayed on the HANA. Okay. So this is AMDP. AMDP is like a stored procedure. So mm, it's like a procedure, not a stored procedure. It's like a procedure. Mm, its a use comes into picture when SAP recommends that you go for AMDP when that functionality is not achieved by CDS view point one. Sometimes we have to use the functions like rank functions, dense rank functions, which are not available directly in the CDS view. Row number function, partition functions, that are native SQL functions. Then we can also go for the AMDP. We can fetch data. The right hand side we are showing simple reports to fetch data into internal table. So this is also possible in using Eclipse. Okay, we will be checking if required. Okay, and then so this is what we am saying on a simplification data model. So if you see earlier there was tables like VBUK and VBUP. So SAP, what SAP has done, they have removed this VBUK and VBUP table, and they have added the fields like status in the VBAC table, or VBAP and VBAK table. These are sales order tables. Okay, first two tables are sales order tables. Okay, so they have removed VBUK and VBP, and they have added the status fields here to make the data model simpler. Similar changes they have done in the delivery side also, and like AP and LIPS. So they have removed few tables, and they have added the status fields to accommodate those changes. Similarly with the billing tables also, VBRK. Okay. Now this SAP gateway. So somebody asked me in the initially that we will be creating OData. So OData was earlier also available when it was not HANA. So we used to go through SCGW, and we used to create the entity, and we used to create a OData service, and we used to give that OData service to the Fury UI5 person, to so who can create the UI and can utilize that service. But with the advent of the S4 HANA, so we have also a concept for CDS views, which help us to create a CDS view and then create an OData and expose it to the outside world. Okay, so this all is for today. So any questions, anything you have? I think from next session, or maybe next to next session, we will be on the hands-on part, and we will be covering the hands-on part.
Just a basic question here. Can you please talk on, am I audible firstly?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, thanks, Mani. So can you please talk on this BTP and RAP? What both?
BT,
RAP is, yeah,
okay.
please.
So BTP is a business technology platform. Okay, RAP is a RESTful API programming model. So when you create RAP, you use Eclipse, and there's a we make a connection, means cloud connections using BTP. So there's a it will ask you a token to make a connection. So once we do in the coding in the RAP, okay, then there is a request to create a Fury application to show multiple tiles. So we use this RAP application usually built and to make overview page in BAS, which is a part of BTP. Okay. So these all things are working on cloud only. So SAP earlier was having a SAP cloud platform, but they have now changed it to business technology platform. SAP cloud platform was hosted on the multiple, means they were using multiple services, which is, I think they are not able to manage that. So now they have come up with their own platform. Still they are using Azure and AWS as their hosting environment. But now they call it as BTP, business technology platform. And BTP is a platform as a service, means you will get the CPI interface service also there, ABAP service also there. So it is giving you the service to create your own product. Okay.
Okay. So using this RAP, you're going to create a CDS views and UI will also be generated, right? I mean,
Yes, automatically UI be generated. UI is generated based on the annotations. Okay, you use the annotations in the CDS view. So when we do service binding and service definition, then there is a URL created, and when we click that URL, then we see the Fury application.
any sort of UI can be developed. I mean, complex UI development.
Complex UI. So
Let,
we create
let,
list pages, overview pages. Okay, in the Fury application, like left hand side will show sales order, right hand side will show details, or if you want to see multiple charts, like what is the margin and all those charts, so we can create multiple pages in the wrap programming, and then we can integrate all these pages in the overview page in the business application studio.
okay. So I mean, these are the basic templates, right? Provided by the SAP. I
Yes,
mean,
templates provided by the
left
space.
hand side, right hand side. Yeah. So if any more enhancements in the UI, that can that be done in the CDS
See
view
if you
itself?
are
Or not?
you see if you are creating a custom CDS view, and if you later you want the fields to be added, so there is an option called extend CDS view. You can extend that extension is possible for the standard CDS views as well. Okay, so that is a where we can extend the standard area application as well using CDS
Yeah, but
views.
I'm asking at the UI level. Suppose if I want to, I mean, if I want to
Yeah,
go
when
beyond the
you
basic templates,
no, you can do na. If you want to add new fields, if you extended the fields in the CDS view, then using annotation you can expose that fields that will be visible at the UI level also. You be used by
for
annotation.
example,
With the
let's say in the Fury screen I have a F4 help. Yeah. So F4 help can be built in many ways, like through the backend annotation. I create a
hmm,
data, I'll do some annotation, and that
hmm,
F4 help will be automatically generated. Suppose
yes,
suppose in a different kind of F4 help if I want to provide. I mean, other than SAP,
hmm.
right? So some kind of complex enhancements. So these are the general. I understand, S2 screen and S3 screen, all these things.
No. So
But
a
if you want
complex,
to go,
complex search help we require. We can create another CDS views, right? And we can use that CDS view using association in the main view. Okay, and we can annotate with the composite level. Means I think there's a annotation composite is there, through which we can use the F4 help on the fields which are required.
so so
And
here we
if you
don't
are
need
creating
any. I mean, we
if you are
don't need
checking
any
about
Fiori UI guy here. I mean,
no,
I'm a
see
backend
if you are
developer. I create a
so
CDS view.
no need of a Fury guy. So for the now for the Fury, if the standard Fury application you have to extend, there also SAP is giving two options. That is a key user extensibility and side by side extensibility. In key user extensibility, you have the option going on the screen. You can change at the screens, and you can do the changes. In side by side, you have to again go with the CDS view or the CAPM approach to create that.
Okay. So in the first approach, we need an Fiori guy, right? Maybe he will be doing in easy layer.
Key extensibility, you don't require Fury guy. You or even the functionals can do it because it does not require any more coding. In side by side, you may require a UI person if you are following a CAPM model. If you are following a RAP model, then a BAPer can do. Okay, and if you are following a BAP classic, this is the classic extensibility. Okay, there you can. That is the basic one only. That you can go ahead and change the BAP code and then give the things. That is not recommended. Also, that is the last option.
So BTP comes into the picture only when you are, you know, exposing this through cloud or something, right?
Yes, 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 yes. We will be using Eclipse, so we have you authenticating with the BTP trial, and then we will creating service binding, so that exposure comes into picture when we show those things.
So if you don't want to expose this, I mean, I can build a standalone wrap application, right? Without BTP as
So
well.
you will be having some backend system, na? If you have some backend system, you can you were earlier also doing the same, right? But the CDS views were not compatible for doing CRUD operations earlier. Okay. With the
Right.
advent of cloud, you were able to do create behavior implementation and behavior definition, which is helping you to do CRUD operations as well.
Okay. So can I say like this? If you want to enable your CDS view to perform CRUD operations, you need a BTP platform.
See, this is for you to understand. BTP is a big platform. That's what I told you. It is not a BAP only. Don't think BTP is equal to a BAP. Okay, BTP has many services. It will have your AI services. It will have your that ABAP service. It will have your PI interface. So that is a platform. Okay, like AWS,
Right.
Azure, GCP.
Right.
Okay, they are giving
Right.
S3
Right.
storage, SNS, right? So that is a platform. Okay, these are the models on which we are working: RAP, CAP, or ABAP. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Assume I don't have any BTP. I'm developing a standalone wrap. Okay. So I'll develop a, but I can do that, right? I mean, I can make CDS view to perform CRUD operations without
How
BTP
can
as
you? How can you? Means it is not given. Means 1809 above 1809 is only that SAP has given that behavior implementation. Before that, if you create CDS views, it will not be able to. You will not be able to create behavior implementations and definitions.
well. Okay. So in the newer versions of S4HANA, let's say 2022 or something.
So they are already means you can you have to that is an you are working on premise, right? So RAP you are working on premise, you are creating CDS view and doing the things. But in RAP programming, when you work on cloud, you are working on entity manipulation language also. Okay, EMLs, which is not in the prior constructs.
Okay. So manipulation API doesn't support in on-premise, right?
API is different things. Sir, API is means API is SAP has given its own API hub, right? There are different services. Okay, you can create APIs using RAP programming also. Okay, you can when you do
Okay.
CDS, you have two options: either to create a OData service like V2, V1, or you create a second option. You create an API. Once the API is created, you can give it to third party, and they can utilize this API. Okay,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Understood.
and any more questions? Not, we can close the session.
So, Mani, one question. So, in on premise, for CRUD operation, we see that from SCGW we do it, right?
Yes.
Right. But in on cloud, we are using RAP for CRUD because we see that from CDS earlier we only used to have read operation, right? Not the
Hmm.
other. So that
Right.
is the one difference between on-premise and cloud.
Yes,
While
that is a
using
difference.
the CDS views.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. That is a difference. I told you yesterday also that I think you only asked the question that you heard that CDS is for reading. No. Now the behavior implementation and behavior definition that has come into picture. That is where the app programming has enhanced its features, and we can do the CRUD operations as well.
Okay. So there we have Postman, right, to test. Here we have separate like how we
Yeah.
test in.
Now Postman might not be required because already you have that URL created when you bind the service, right? And you click
Mhm.
on it, it will open a page definitely, and it will show you that if it's error, then you have to debug using that console, network, and all those things. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Any more?
Fine. Thank
Any more questions? Okay. Okay, guys. Then let's meet in the next session. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.